Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining our parent support group. So this is the third round of parent support group that we're running. The first two were offline, in person at Marthali Center. But because we wanted a lot more parents to join, and a lot of them reached out to us saying that coming in person on a Saturday morning is a little hard. So we are planning to do this on every Saturday, first Saturday of every month. And it'll be going forward, it'll be online. So a lot more of you can join and participate. And we're really happy with the numbers that we are seeing today. So we hope that a lot more of the parents will join soon. If you are in touch with any of the parents, please do reach out to them and let them know that we have a program like this running to support them so that a lot more parents can make use of this kind of a service. Yeah. So we'll get started. So today, our first speaker is going to be Mr. Karthik. He's Sarvesh's dad, and we're really excited to hear about his journey, about Sarvesh's journey, and how much he has learned, and how much what his successes and failures look like. So over to you, Mr. Karthik.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you, Purnima. Okay. First of all, let me thank you for giving me this opportunity to share my journey as a parent, managing and understanding my son's need. Today, I hope my story will resonate with you and shed light on the importance of early intervention and adaptability and support that every parent needs to provide in case of special needs, right? Let me begin by introducing myself and my son. I'm Karthik and father of Sarvesh, who is 14-year-old and in the ninth grade now. My son is exceptionally bright child in terms of IQ, which is close to 17 to 18-year-old kid from IQ perspective, but with emotional maturity of close to 8 or 7-year-old. So that's the gap that we are trying to fulfill, and this gap has made it very difficult for him to make friends with peers, often leading to isolation, getting into fights and aggressive behavior due to a lot of bullying that he has experienced in past, both in a residential community where we live as well as in the previous schools. Initially, we noticed the social skill issues and occasional aggression in certain situations. However, since he was also young, we didn't think too much about it. That I felt that we could have intercepted it long back, but we realized just 2 to 3 years back. Okay, and which in my view it's bit late, but we are trying to cope up that time that we lost. As the time went, the challenges grew, and particularly during the COVID pandemic, that's when we saw the real aggression. Okay, and he was so used to that screen. The classes were going online, so we could not stop his screen share. But that isolation actually magnified his struggles, and we decided that is the time we decided that we need to seek some formal help, and that's when we went for therapy and his checkups and examinations. The diagnosis indicated that he might have Asperger syndrome. It's a very different syndrome. It's not easy to be detected, but it was diagnosed that he might have. It was not for sure, but he might have. And that was the turning point for us because he faced challenges in the previous school. We shifted to Bangalore close to during the just about the COVID time, and he got into a new school here. The first year was okay, but the second year was horrible, right? He faced challenges due to non-acceptance by his classmates, due to excessive bullying because of his not able to understand or not able to cope up with his peers. And that's the time we started looking out for some inclusive schools, some schools which can support him better. And during that time, I heard about Saandeepani, where he's studying now, and Stepping Stones Center tie-up, right? And by God's grace, he got the admission. This is the first year that he's completing in Saandeepani and Stepping Stone. And I'm incredibly happy with his progress over the last year. my perception of because of all that has happened in the previous school, my perception and my thought process of how society can help the inclusive kids was completely washed off. And but this year, it has changed my thoughts on society can indeed provide a good help with and that has changed 360-degree for me. That said, as a parent, we had to put in a lot of significant effort to make the progress possible, of course. And I sincerely appreciate the support model of Stepping Stones Center, along with the Saandeepani School, which has helped my son settle down in the new school seamlessly. And he's very happy with the school. The situation was last year, he didn't want to go to the school at all. Okay. For a couple of months, we just went to the school only for the examination. Rest of the studies he used to do at home. Being a brilliant kid, he was able to cope up, but it was not easy, right? But this year has gone really well for him. Okay, now coming to our learnings, right? What we did in last 2 3 years, what we learned as a parent, and what we are trying to support him. Okay, our first step when he was diagnosed with this syndrome was to consult a therapist, which happened close to 2 to 3 years back, who suggested the diagnosis of Asperger's, of course. Hearing those words, I would say it was both a relief and a challenge because we were facing this aggression, this unaccepted behavior at times for some time, but we didn't know what was the problem, what was the issue, why is it happening. But when we got this diagnosis, it was a kind of relief that we know what's happening with him, and at the same time challenge because we are not used to that, we are not experienced to handle that. So that was the challenge that we went through. As I said, on one hand, we were able to understand our son better, that why he is doing few things which is not accepted in the society. And on the other hand, it marked a beginning of a journey filled with learning, adaptation, persistence. Now, receiving the diagnosis, I would say, was not just about the understanding and how do we handle, but it was also about the evolving as a parent and caregiver. Now, few with this context and background, I thought it would be good to give this background so that you understand that how our learnings are actually evolved over the period of last couple of years. Now, few learnings that I want to definitely share with fellow parents regarding the experience and journey that we had so far is the I would say the first step which at least we did was to know more about Asperger's. It was a new term for us. We knew ADHD, we knew autism and all, but Asperger's was something different because we never thought that our son could have a scale of autism because he doesn't show any trait on that. He was good in academics. It was just that he was bullied a lot. He was not able to make friends. And then we started knowing what is Asperger's, and he was having Asperger's with a high functioning autism. So he could not make friends, but intellectually he was very advanced. So we took individual and family counseling along with me, my wife, my sister, my daughter. We all went into counseling on how do we handle such situations. That gave us a light that how do we understand the rationales behind my son's argument, moments of aggression. The We understood the key importance of small appreciations, acknowledging even the small efforts. At times we were facing very difficult times in saying no to few things because he will be stuck on certain aspects, right? So how do we say no's and yes in different ways without hurting his feeling? So these sessions gave us a tool to approach the challenges with empathy, practicality, making a significant difference on how we interacted and dealt with our son. So that was the first aspect with how we started. Now, the second important aspect is communication and patience. Those are the key towards any success, be it inclusive kids or non-inclusive kids. Communication and patience is important, right? Now, as part of that, we are continuing the therapy, counseling, medication, learning the social skills, because that's where he was lacking, explicit learning on situations to enable him to be acceptable in the society. With his high IQ, he often finds logic in whatever he says, whatever he does. Now, this requires immense patience and a balanced mind to provide clarification and responses that align with his perspective. That was a task that we learned over the period of time, and it was not easy. And then we ensured that our communications are clear, direct, supportive, no beating around the bushes. And then at the same time, validating his feeling while gently guiding him in the right direction. Because if he's wrong, if we start with saying that, okay, you are wrong, Sarvesh, it doesn't go well. So we have to find a way out on how do we first let him know that he's heard of, and then validating his feeling and gently moving him in the right direction. So those were the aspects that we learned over the period of time, and it was not easy. We are still learning. I wouldn't say we are all perfect now. We are still learning, and it's a journey for us. Then the third important aspect which I feel we need to do is we need to understand the strengths and weaknesses. One of the most important lessons that we learned, and by focusing on his strength, we helped him build that confidence. Okay, while addressing his weaknesses, of course, in a supportive environment. For instance, encouraging him in academics pursuits where he excels. As I said, his intellectual levels are much higher, right? So we encouraged him on that and provided resources and strategies to improve his social and emotional skills. For example, in academic, he is brilliant in science and maths, whereas he's weak on the abstract subject. Wherever you need to remember something, mug up something, he's weak. But wherever he can add logic to what he is doing, he is extraordinary. So we work with the school to challenge him in the subjects to evolve his strengths more. And at the same time, he's very super genius in the computer coding. So that we found that we can provide that platform to him to encourage his strength. And he has developed mobile apps since the age of 9, right? And we encouraged in providing the right platforms. And since last 3 years, I don't know many of you, how many of you are aware, there is a global hackathon done by an organization called iCode, where he achieved 95th rank in the first year, that is 3 years back. Last year, he got 42nd rank globally, and this year he's third rank globally with a competition of close to 3 million kids around the world. So he likes that, he loves that. It's so that is the other strengths that we have that he has. And as a parent, we need to provide that consistent support to help him thrive, and that these are the aspects which will build confidence, because he's already getting bullied, he's not accepted in the society. With his peers it is difficult. He doesn't go to the play because kids are not, he goes to the play, he goes to play with my daughter's friends because they are of the age group of 10 and 9, and he goes with them very well, right? A portion of it is also because he's able to dominate there, whereas in his peers, when his peers are 14 and 15 years, it is very difficult for him, right? So we need to divert his attention to his strength areas. He likes coding, give him the platform. He likes education, give him the platform. So that's what we need to that's what we did, at least. Then the other important is what we noticed is our son was not very adaptive to sudden changes. So we created a structured routine. Okay. And this routine and structure became an anchor for him. We created visual schedules for daily activities, which reduced his anxiety and helped him what to expect. Now, having said that, we will always have unavoidable situations. So we used to prepare him in advance, often for using the social stories. For example, if we have to go out for a party, go out for a marriage, go out, if some guests are coming at our home, right? He needs to be prepared. He is sensitive for loud sounds, large gatherings, crowds. Then in these kind of situation, what will happen when we go out for a marriage? What he has to do, what we will do, and giving him that confidence that we are with you. Don't worry, right? And he has a acute aversion for specific foods. He doesn't touch, or he will not be nearby anywhere where there is a sambar smell, rasam smell, Okay, some kind of, he's very choosy about food. So we also need to prepare him when we are going out for a lunch and dinner, right? And we always have to ensure that there is something that of his choice which he can consume. So these are the kind of learnings that we got over the period of time, and now it's a kind of standard protocols that we follow, which we have learned over the period of time. So in short, in summarize, to summarize, we need to understand their perspective. Often we feel that no, they are wrong, but from their perspective, they might be right. They have their own thinking, which is not syncing up with society, which is not syncing up with us. But we have to walk that journey with them to make them acceptable in the society. Not taking them out, not taking them to the marriages, the parties is not a solution. So we need to see how do we converge these together, his limitations and society's expectation, and live with that. That's where another important aspect is social acceptance is very key for long-term journey. Today we are there to support. Today's stepping stone is there to support him in the school, provide him that inclusive buddies. But when he gets into the college 3 years later, we may not have this facility. So this 3 years is taking. I'm taking this 3 years as a challenge to prepare him, because from his intellectual perspective he can do wonders, but this limitation of his Asperger syndrome, I don't want that to pull him back. So these are the 3 years that I'm going to work with him to ensure that he is ready for next critical journey in his life, right? And most importantly, celebration is the biggest encouragement. The small things that he do good, right? If we explicitly mention that, hey, Sarvesh, you have done it well, verbally informing him that what went well really builds the confidence, and that would be true for any kids, right? So as part of this journey, I would say we have become his strongest advocates. Collaborating with his school was the key to ensuring his learning environment was inclusive. At the same time, we also sought professional help in terms of therapies, in terms of medications, which are again tailored to his unique challenges and strength, which is working out. And just to reflecting back, I have realized that raising a child with Asperger syndrome is just not about helping him fit into the world. More importantly, I would say creating the world that values his strengths and respects their differences is the key, right? Uh, as I close, I thank you for being part of this session. I'm sure I'm on time of 15 minutes. So these are some experiences and learnings that I wanted to share, ma'am. And once again, I thank Stepping Stone Center for providing this opportunity to me. I'll leave if happy to do that. Otherwise, you can always reach out to me through Stepping Stone if you need more details on this. But I would say our journey is not finished yet. It's still going on. And as I said, it's a journey. It will go on. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I was getting goosebumps listening to you. I think all of us resonated with a lot of what you said. And these are some things that we tell all our parents as well, to celebrate the small things. And, it goes a very long way when we are able to find the strengths in our children and, be able to encourage that. I mean, we are super, super proud of Savage, but we also really want to commend you for the kind of passion and understanding that you have. It's really I'm I don't know, I'm lost with words to say, but it's really nice to hear such nice words from parents. Any questions? We can open up the floor for questions. Anybody? Okay, so the little bit of gap that we have, in case any of the parents have any questions for Mr. Karthik, let me just tell you, I'm sure all of you know about SSC, but if there are any parents who are not completely aware. We just wanted to spend a few minutes talking about what we do as an organization. So we have almost 11 plus years of experience, and our vision and our goal has only been helping children and families in need. So we have worked in the field of special education therapy for for more than 11 years now. We In the past 2 years we have collaborated with a lot of schools, and we have been running a very successful inclusion program at Sandeepani for almost 10 years now. We also are the first QABA board certified accredited center in India. So we also have provide certification courses for. We have completed almost 6 batches now, where we have, um, on an average, we have about 15 to 20 participants in each batch, and almost 80% of them have been ABAT behavior, have been certified as behavior technicians after the coursework has been completed as well. And we have, like you can see on the screen, we have almost 120 plus children in our inclusive program, and we have a team of 90 plus certified therapists. So so we just wanted to talk about stepping stones for a minute there. Let me just check if we have any questions in the chat box. One second. Great, really. The messages are all about you, Mr.
Great
Karthik. We're
question.
really proud of you.
Yes.
Amazing job that you're doing.
Thank you. Thank you so much.